Let's go Browns! They've made their choice. The Cleveland Browns have made their decision. And now, weeks into the season, we're starting to feel the full weight of that choice. It's as if we're sitting on the one play that could completely change their season, and they're simply refusing to make it. What if the answer is already in the building, showing flashes of greatness behind closed doors, yet being kept off the field? There's something going on behind the scenes that doesn't make sense, and after hearing this, you might not view the coaching staff the same way. Watch this video if you're tired of seeing missed opportunities every Sunday, and if possible, right here. Do you trust the decisions being made now? Well, without further ado, let's break it down. While the Browns may have promoted Sanders to second on the depth chart, he's still stuck watching from the sidelines. He's not getting any reps with the first team. He's not getting a chance to develop a rapport with the starters. And yet everyone knows, sooner or later, he'll be thrown into the fire. And when the time comes, will he be ready? The answer depends entirely on what Cleveland does now. Kevin Stefanski confirmed what many feared. Shedeur Sanders isn't getting any reps with the first team. The logic? Gabriel is starting, and as a young quarterback, he needs all the reps he can get. Fair enough on the surface, but let's break it down. Gabriel is getting all the reps with the first team, playing ultra-conservative football, and putting up performances that are statistically among the weakest in the league. In 3 starts, he's attempted 98 passes, and 66 of them, 67%, have gone for 9 yards or less. That's not just short passing. It's dump football. It's excessive caution. It's the very definition of game management. And while he hasn't thrown any interceptions, according to ESPN data, he has dropped 2 interceptions and has a completion percentage of 59.8%, ranking 31st in the NFL. Add to that a league-worst 5.1 yards per attempt and just 4.22 passing yards per attempt. This isn't a winning formula. Let's be clear, Gabriel hasn't been bad. He hasn't single-handedly lost the Browns games. But he hasn't given them a shine either. He's not driving the offense. He's not pushing the ball downfield. And when the Browns scored 31 points last week, Gabriel wasn't even on the field for 3 of those touchdowns. This is the reality we're seeing. It's a team dragging its quarterback, not the other way around. So now we ask, where's Shedeur Sanders in all of this? According to Stefanski, he's getting reps in a bunch of different periods, but not with the ones. And that is a problem. Because if you're the backup quarterback, one play away from being thrown into a live game situation, you need reps with the starters. Especially when insiders like Mary Kay Cabot are reporting glowing things out of practice. She says Sanders is making a ton of progress, looking really sharp in red zone and pocket drills. People inside the building say Shedeur would win most of those head-to-heads against Gabriel. The flashes are there. The potential is there. And yet the reps aren't. What adds more fuel to this fire is how differently Gabriel was treated. When he was the backup, behind Joe Flacco, he was getting first-team reps. The excuse then? Flacco was a vet, so Gabriel needed reps in case he had to step in. Fair. But now Sanders is in the same spot, QB2, and not getting those same opportunities. If anything, with both being rookies, Shedeur needs those reps more than Gabriel ever did. And look, Stefanski says it's about protecting the football, finding balance, not being conservative just for the sake of it. But let's call it what it is. The Browns are playing scared on offense. They're trying to win with defense, with takeaways, and by avoiding mistakes at quarterback. That's not sustainable. We saw it against the Dolphins where 4 takeaways helped seal the win. But against teams like the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Lions, we got blown out. Because when the defense doesn't dominate, Gabriel can't carry the offense. That's the hard truth. Gabriel needs the team around him to be perfect in order to succeed. And while Shedeur isn't a proven NFL starter, all signs point to a higher ceiling. It's what so many fans saw during draft season. It's what insiders see in practice. It's what Browns analysts like Mary Kay are talking about on a weekly basis. The difference in arm talent, the willingness to push the ball, the confidence, the leadership. Shedeur Sanders has that. But you can't unleash it without preparation. Multiple sources are saying Sanders will get the final 4 starts of the season no matter what. Others say he could start earlier if Gabriel continues on this trajectory. But as of now, it feels like the Browns are delaying the inevitable. Insider Tony Rizzo said it best. Take the bye week, use the 2 weeks to get Shedeur ready, and start him against the Jets. It's a winnable game, a confidence builder. But that window might be closing. And if Cleveland continues to stick with Gabriel just because he isn't throwing picks, we may never get the spark this offense so badly needs. And that brings us to the heart of the problem. Cleveland made their bet. But how long are they willing to sit with a losing hand? Because even the most optimistic Browns fans can see that Dillon Gabriel is not pushing the offense forward. His cautious play is costing Cleveland valuable momentum. It's not just about avoiding turnovers anymore. It's about the complete lack of explosiveness, the failure to capitalize on opportunities, and a ceiling that feels frustratingly low. When you watch Gabriel, you don't see a quarterback who can take over a game. You see a guy managing the offense like a substitute teacher following a lesson plan. He's just trying not to mess things up. But the NFL isn't built on safe. It's built on risk, confidence, and playmakers who can change the trajectory of a game with a single throw. Shedeur Sanders might not be a sure thing, but he looks, sounds, and plays like someone who wants to lead. And right now, the Browns need a leader more than a placeholder. That's what's so maddening about this situation. We're not asking the coaching staff to toss Shedeur into the fire with no preparation. We're asking why they're not preparing him at all. If everyone in the building is seeing growth and promise, why delay his development by keeping him out of first-team reps? How do you evaluate talent fairly if you're not even giving one of your top prospects the opportunity to show what he can do in real-time conditions with the starting unit? And here's what makes the situation feel even more puzzling. The Browns' offense isn't producing at a high level. It's not like Gabriel is lighting up the scoreboard and giving you reasons to be patient. He's not throwing deep balls. He's not hitting tight windows. He's not moving the chains consistently. Against the Dolphins, the Browns' defense was the star. For takeaways gave the offense short fields and helped create 31 points, most of which had nothing to do with the quarterback. But what happens when that kind of defensive performance doesn't show up? We've seen it already against top-tier opponents like the Steelers, Ravens, and Lions. It was ugly. We were completely outmatched and outclassed. And that's why the argument that Gabriel hasn't done anything wrong just doesn't hold up anymore. It's not about minimizing mistakes. It's about maximizing potential. Shedeur might make rookie mistakes too, but he might also hit that 25-yard seam route. He might change a game with his legs. He might build a rhythm with Judkins and open up the field in a way we haven't seen since Baker's peak. Gabriel isn't giving us those moments. He's giving us stalled drives, short throws, and barely 100 passing yards per game. What's more frustrating is that the Browns fan base sees it. The analysts see it. People like Tony Rizzo are calling for Shedeur to start coming out of the bye week, circling the Jets game as the perfect moment to unleash the rookie. It's a manageable opponent. It's a game that could boost team confidence and set the tone for a late-season push. But the way things are trending, it feels like Stefanski and the front office are playing it far too safe. And in doing so, they might be squandering another season in search of NFL-ready play from a quarterback who still looks like a college prospect. But there is a light, Quentin Judkins. If you're looking for something to believe in, it's number 10. The guy's energy, his fire, his love for Cleveland, it's infectious. 3 touchdowns against Miami, a game-breaking performance, and a heart that beats for the city. Judkins said it himself, Cleveland is home. I want to die playing football here. That's the kind of culture changer the Browns need to build around. That's the player you want on your side when you're reshaping the identity of a franchise. If Shedeur gets his shot soon and Judkins keeps balling, we might finally see the kind of explosive backfield this city hasn't had in years. And let's not pretend this is about Gabriel versus Sanders alone. It's about the bigger picture. It's about a front office that made a bold choice, and whether they're willing to adjust when the evidence says they might have been wrong. The Browns have a history of doubling down on bad QB decisions until it's too late. So the question is, are we going to do that again? Or will they pivot, listen to what the field is saying, and give the fans what they've been asking for? This situation is far from hopeless. There's still time.